All right, interesting one right there. I mean, you look at the quality, I mean, of some of the players in that list, and you get the feeling that maybe the Super Eagles could have a team that could compete at the World Cup. Who knows? I have a guest joining me on the show. And we're going to be previewing the rest of the other leagues in Europe with big games coming up this weekend. Edwin Onyebolise is my next guest on Plus Sports Special. Edwin, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Wally. I'm good.
Fantastic. I don't know if you caught the list of Nigerian players who are representing other nations. Let me quickly take your thoughts on that. We have Gavin Bazunu, who is goalkeeper for Southampton and Republic of Ireland, could have been Nigeria's goalkeeper. There's Manuel Akonji, who is doing great things at Manchester City. Dele Ali, who's struggling at the moment. But, I mean, the big one that has come to light recently, in fact, Gennett Raw has said recently that he wanted to recruit him, is Jamal Musiala. Imagine the Super Eagles having this kind of quality. Don't you think we'll be winning the African Cup of Nations on the counter? What do you think?
Yeah, Wale, so it's no secret the amount of Nigerian-born players, either by birth or by association with parents, that are representing other international countries. But then again, how many can you bring into the national team? It's also not a given that if these guys were representing us, they would have been as successful as they are, or would have been as successful as we assume would be. So it's not plug and play, it's not black and white. But I think with the quality they've shown thus far, it has been a big improvement on what we have on ground.
Europe. I mean, so again, we can't guarantee that they will be successful playing for the Super Eagles. But, I mean, we are sure of the quality that they have, you know. When you consider, for instance, Karim Adeyemi at Borussia Dortmund, I mean, it might not work for the Super Eagles, but, I mean, we know how good they are. Anyway, to preview other leagues in Europe this weekend, with me, of course, Edwin joins me for the European Leagues preview. And we start off quickly before we go to the big one in Spain, Edwin. Let's start off with the classic in France between Paris Saint-Germain and Marseille. The big story in France this week has been about Kylian Mbappe. What's been your general thoughts about the whole situation surrounding the striker? Having now said to people close to him that he wants to leave Paris Saint-Germain just 2 months after signing a new deal.
I'm going to lay the blame at the feet of Paris Saint-Germain. So, historically, when you look at the super clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Milan, and the likes, these clubs have built a rich history over the years that right now they are an institution. And for Paris Saint-Germain to get to that level, they had to do it systematically, or they had to do it by cutting corners. By cutting corners, I mean by buying success. And in doing that, you have to pay over the odds for some of the world's biggest stars. And in trying to keep them, you also have to give them some ridiculous amount of wages, and also give them some sort of leeway to be comfortable at the club. And they did that with Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid came in for almost 200 million euros, and Paris Saint-Germain were insisting they were going to keep him. And for them to buy Mbappe's loyalty, they had to agree to some terms and conditions on the part of Kylian Mbappe. And one of that is that Mbappe was going to have a say in the players that were going to come in, the coaches that were going to come in, down to the recruitment. And when you give a player at that age, 24 years, that sort of power, then it means you are committing a lot of your decisions into his hands. And Mbappe has come out to say, you guys promised me you were going to get a center forward. I don't want to play as a center forward. I want to play the way I play in the national team with Karim Benzema, up a center forward. And so far, he's playing as a number 9. Then you ask yourself, Mbappe is playing behind one of the greatest footballers of all time, Lionel Messi. Playing behind Lionel Messi or playing in front of Lionel Messi shouldn't be a problem, but he's petulant. He wants to have his way. Paris Saint-Germain have given him the power to act the way he wants to act, and they shouldn't cry foul.
Yeah, but Edwin, in as much as I don't want to stay too long on this Mbappe topic, don't you also think that Mbappe being petulant should be a problem when you consider the fact that athletes generally have a level of responsibility that they have to display? Because look, the team is not doing badly, right? They are playing well. They are winning games. You wanna play. They did try to sign a striker. They tried to get Lewandowski, but Lewandowski only wanted to go to Barcelona. I hear that they also tried to get Gianluca Scamacca, who's now at West Ham, but they couldn't reach an agreement with Sassuolo before he signed for West Ham. So they did try to get a striker, but when you are publicly saying, "Oh, I don't want to play that position. I don't want to play this position," does it not say something about you as a person also? Apart from the fact
Yeah,
that PSG have given him the leeway to misbehave, but the fact that he is
yeah, it does.
misbehaving should also be a problem.
It does. So what Mbappe is telling us is that he has limitations, and limitations in the sense that he can't play as a number nine. And for a club like Real Madrid, who will be looking to get Mbappe either in January or in the summer, um, I think they will look at that statement and feel if this guy can act this way in Paris Saint-Germain, what's the chance or what are the chances that he's not going to act like this at Real Madrid? But on the flip side, you also have to look at the history of the club. When Mbappe walks through the doors at the Santiago Bernabeu, he looks at the laurels, he looks at the images of the great players that are represented Real Madrid. It's going to ring a bell in his head that I have to do a lot to match up with this guy. Or at Paris Saint Germain, no disrespect to them, you walk through the walls of Paris Saint Germain. Who's the greatest player? Maybe Rai, maybe Paoletta, Mbappe, and Ibrahimovic, Cavani. Those players do not measure up to the caliber of players that have represented Real Madrid. But that is not to say that Mbappe is not in the wrong. I think he needs to sit up. He's a role model. You can't, at this stage of your career, at this level of your career, you can't show all of this naivety that is associated with players just starting their careers.
Let's quickly move on from all the petulance and the childishness that is being displayed in France by Kylian Mbappe. It's a big game for PSG. It's a game that they've seemed quite comfortable in recent years, although Neymar likes to get a red card in this match. But you get a feeling that PSG will find a way through. But let's move to the big one. We don't have a lot of time. It's in Spain. Is at the Santiago Bernabeu, the El Gran Clasico, Edwin. It has sort of lost its spark in recent years, especially after the exit of, first of all, Ronaldo, then Lionel Messi. But this year, it seems to have some excitement around it, with Real having now a proper superstar in Karim Benzema, and of course Barcelona parading some very interesting players, Lewandowski, Rafinha, whom I don't know why people call him a superstar, but good player. But Lewandowski, Benzema seems to add some spice, some fresh spice to the El Gran Clasico this year.
Generation, both players are playing the same position, centre forward, albeit with slight variances. Both players are top of their game. Benzema is autumn favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. Lewandowski was close a couple of years to win the Ballon d'Or. So I think the appeal of the Clasico is gradually returning, and all thanks to Barcelona. Yeah, I think Barcelona leveled up the playing field by bringing in marquee players, getting in quality players in the summer. And it's going to be a very, very interesting game for neutrals, but for people that have stakes in the game, for someone like you, I'm sure it's going to be hands in the mouth moment. And for Barcelona, all of the negativity in the Champions League coming into this game, they need a positive result. And you look at the last couple of games, even in the league where it looks like they're keeping clean sheets and they're winning. When you look away from the stats and you look at the performances, it tells you a different story. So what the stats doesn't tell you is that, so the stats has told us that Ter Stegen has made 19 saves from the 20 shots he has faced. They've considered just one goal in the league. But when you look at it in context, Barcelona has struggled. Ter Stegen has been man of the match in a couple of games. Barcelona have faced teams like Mallorca, Cadiz, Real Valladolid. Those teams are not renowned for scoring goals. And each time they come up against teams of equal quality, teams that can hurt them, they've considered goals. And that's in the Champions League. They are facing a Real Madrid side who are beaming with confidence, albeit they are not also playing well. I think it's a tough test for Barcelona.
Oh, Edwin, who do you think is going to win this game? Real Madrid or Barca?
I'll tip Real Madrid. So last season, earlier this year, in the Clasico, Barcelona defeated Real Madrid at Bernabeu 4 goals to nothing. But it was people attributed that game to a mistake on the part of Ancelotti. Modric played as a false nine. Real Madrid Barcelona took control of the midfield, and from then it was game over. But I think it's going to revert to the normal midfield trial that we've seen. This time, Tchouaméni in for Casemiro, Kroos, Modric. They can hurt Barcelona in several ways. Cede possession to Barcelona, hit them on the break, or the ingenuity of Rodrigo, Benzema, and Vinicius can also hurt a depleted Barcelona defense.
All right, Edwin, quickly, we don't have much time before I let you go. From Italy, Italy remains as it is. Nobody's absolutely sure of who the best team is. But we have to agree that Napoli are on fire.
Yeah, they are. They are. They're scoring goals left, right, center in the Champions League. They are through to the knockout stage in the league. They lost a couple of key players. People seem to forget. Dres Mentes left. Lorenzo Insigne also left. Koulibaly left for Chelsea, and it felt like they were going to struggle. But they replaced well. They got the defender from Turkey. They got in Raspadori, who's coming good. Politano is playing. Lozano is back
They
to
also brought in
best in
Giovanni
midfield.
Simeone.
Yeah, Giovanni Simoni from Hellas Verona in midfield.
You have not mentioned the most important player, the guy who we can't pronounce his name on the left.
Yeah, there's also this Georgian guy. They call him
Exactly.
Cavadona. So Napoli are really on good form. They play Bologna. You expect them to win that game easily at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. And yeah, so I think they are there or thereabout when it comes to the title conversation.
All right, thank you very much, Edwin Onyebolise, for joining me live on Plus Sports Special this morning.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you very much. That's the whole of the package on today's special edition of Plus Sports right here on Plus TV. Interesting games to enjoy this weekend. Before I go, let me just remind you to keep supporting the Flamingos of Nigeria. Back on track yesterday in Goa in the ongoing Under-17 Women's World Cup, where they, got an absolutely fantastic victory yesterday afternoon against New Zealand. Their last group game is against Chile next week, so everybody will be hoping that they do and make it through to the next round of the World Cup. This way the new budding stars, the new Azizat Oshualas and Messi Akidis, this way we find them, and we might just be on the cusp of birthing another world women's football superstar. All right, like I said, big games to enjoy this weekend. Liverpool, Manchester City, PSG, Marseille, and of course the El Gran Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu tomorrow between Real Madrid and Barcelona. So guys, it's an enjoyable weekend for you, and that's where we draw the curtains on the show today. Don't forget, you can enjoy more episodes of the show and other shows on Plus TV when you go on YouTube at Plus TV Africa and at Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. You can also enjoy Plus TV Live on Limex. Just go on to www.limex.tv, and on all Glow TV apps. There you would find Plus TV. Thank you very much. My name, of course, remains Olawale Agbede. Until next time, do have a fantastic weekend.